And we are live. Awesome. Right. Hey everyone, it's me, Spurswell, and welcome to another Train Sim World 2 live stream on Tees Valley. This time we're taking a look at one of the Loco add-ons that was, well, added to Tees Valley, and that is the Gargoyle, the Ped, whatever nickname you want to call it, or you prefer. That is, of course, the BR Class 31 diesel electric locomotive. So we're going to be doing a couple of services with its included cement wagons, starting off here in the journey mode. So let's pick it, which goes from Eastgate to Tees Yard, and then Tees Yard to Eastgate. So let's roll. Of course, when I say Eastgate, it's departing from Darlington, but we're pretending it's come from Eastgate. Okay, take over this loaded cement train at Darlington and continue it to Tees Yard. So what do I need to do? Master key to on. Just need to lower the seat. It's hideously too high for me. Makes me look like the BFG. Put on the route indicator lights. Make sure it's all tickety-boo. AWS is on, which is excellent in lovely sunny conditions. So right, let's release the brakes and we'll apply some power to get moving. I'll say my hellos to Thierry, Trainmaster and Liam. Hope you're all well. Hope you've all had a good weekend. E60 Guy 101, hey, how are you? Today is the CSX 8888's 21st anniversary since it ran away. Oh right, what an anniversary. Trainmaster now departing the Yankees bound for Grand Central Terminal, no passengers. Well, fair enough, having some fun on. You do like Harlem Line, don't you, Trainmaster? You're certainly putting a lot of work into it. Alright, so this is what we've got. We've got two locomotives in charge of this run. So let's roll. "20 loaded cement wagons, of course. Right, let's hop back in the cab. Yeah, so the 31 adds 17 additional services to Tees Valley. Not only does cement runs from Tees Yard to Darlington, empty and loaded formations, and with the option of using single or double headed formations, you can also use it in passenger services. Going from Darlington to Saltburn, also with the runaround procedures at Saltburn as well, which is quite unique. So yeah, it's a pretty decent package really. And of course the sounds are from Armstrong Powerhouse himself. This DLC also had a bit of input from the sound front from another third-party sound developer or something like that. I can't quite remember who that is exactly, but certainly sounds of this this old machine has certainly been very well received by the community. I think it's one of the best well received locomotives purely just from the sound, and not just sound, it's also the driving characteristics, particularly from the brakes point of view. They're a bit sticky, so they do require a bit of getting used to. but once you do get the hang of it, it's a joy to drive. It really is. Nearly 1,000 miles. Wow, Trainmaster, 1,000 miles. That's a lot of miles if that's on the Harlem line. My goodness me. Just increase the brake pressure. Corey Rodriguez, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Just doing some cement runs on Tees Valley in some lovely autumn conditions. That's the beauty of the journey mode in Train Sim World, is you never know what weather pattern you're going to get when it comes to the timetables in each respective journey or chapter of a journey mode. Sound of a whistle. You can also use the Class 31 on the West Somerset Railway. Now, speaking of West Somerset, I know quite a few people are very, very keen to know if the Spirit of Steam locomotives are compatible with West Somerset Railway, and I can confirm that Mr. Pedalston has spoken to me on Facebook, and he can confirm that the steam locomotives will indeed work on the West Somerset Railway. So, yeah, I know a fair few people have been asking me on comments of other videos or on live streams itself whether the steam locomotives are usable on, if that even is a word, usable on West Somerset Railway, and I can confirm that that is indeed the case. You can use them on the West Somerset Railway. Whatever weather, whatever time of day, or you name it, you can use the steam locomotives on the West Somerset Railway. Going from Bishop's Lydeard to Minehead, or vice versa. Doing maybe some yard work, or pretending to do some yard work at Minehead, like use it on the turntable. So it's nice that we have some clarity as regard to that particular question. Bobby, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Trainmaster, a quarter of it is my home line. Ah, right, I see. Spurs, are you ready for the Spirit of Steam? Am I ready? Certainly looking forward to it, absolutely. I wouldn't say I'm ready for it because I've no idea what to expect. So I'm not ready as far as getting up to speed of driving a locomotive and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, but I'm ready to receive it, that's for sure. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Oh, we're speeding. I'm going to be way over the speed limit here, so I do apologise. Not sure if I set the brakes correctly, actually. Is there a brake switch? It usually is somewhere up here, isn't it? Let's set it to the vacuum brakes. That does the job. There we go. I fixed the problem, but I've made another problem for myself. That's okay. Way. This locomotive likes to fight. It certainly likes to fight. And you've come to a halt. It's a very feisty locomotive. There we go. Oh. Come on. That's it. It does like to fight when it comes to the braking performance. But I think I was in the wrong brake mode anyway. I think I should have been in vacuum rather than air brake, but oh well. We're underway. We don't have to be at T's yard at an indicated time, so not a problem. I'm sure the yard manager at T's yard won't complain and sack me on the spot. Bobby's looking at BNSF wallpapers. Awesome. Usable is a word. Thank you, Trainmaster. Tio, it's my birthday tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hope the weather's kind to you and you have a good day. The weather has been awful today. Absolutely shocking. It's been raining since since I got up this morning. Hasn't stopped really. Trainmaster's doing the train to the game scenario on Harlem Line. He's 60 going to 1. Going to make some troublesome trucks when Spurs team comes out. I had a feeling you were going to do something like that. You always like to associate jokes with Thomas the Tank Engine. That's for sure. So I'm not surprised you're going to do something Thomas related. Liam, hey, how are you? I already said hello to you, but yeah, hello. History has been changed to some degree. On the 9th of June 1865, Charles Dickens was travelling with his mistress and the train derailed while crossing a viaduct. Oh blimey, of all the places to derail a viaduct, I'd be freaking out if it was on a viaduct, as I am not a fan of heights. Thierry, 60% chance of rain. Oh no, well hopefully the weather forecast is incorrect for you wherever you live. Trainmaster, perfect weather here in the United States. Not really surprised, you usually get good weather over there, don't you? Apart from the tornado season. That was a 31 that was doing a passenger service that just scooted by there. Probably saw CSX for the first time, and it's quite rare in his area. Oh, I see. Well, I hope you got some photographs of it to savour that moment. Liam, Polesworth Station runs only one service a week, the 7:26 AM or PM train to Crewe. Stations in the Czech Republic used to have their own identifying jingles based on something relevant in that town or city. Oh, I like the sound of that. That sounds awesome. Oh, that's cool. Liam had rain earlier. Oh, well, not surprised. I think most of the countries had a splash of rain here and there. But here with freight, go too fast, you could catch up to a passenger service, and slow passenger services can catch up. Yeah, that's... I suppose that's a double whammy, isn't it? You can either go as close as you can to the speed limit, or go over it quite consistently, and then you end up running into a slower train and the possibility of a red signal. Or if you come to a shuddering halt like I did earlier, you could then face the prospect of another passenger service behind you, or freight service, end up being late departing from whatever station. So yeah, I suppose it has its double whammy, doesn't it? But we're cruising along nicely and we're not doing too bad. Come off the park, 58 miles per hour, pretty quick. I think we've got a bit of a steep gradient, so it's going to give us a hand of slowing down a bit, which is good. Trainmaster, never getting tornadoes. Actually don't get tornadoes. Never do, fair enough. Not like anyone wants them. Got a yellow coming up. So it's best I just keep slowing down nice and steady. Liam, if you're wealthy enough to own your own private railway carriage, you can travel in style across the USA, as Amtrak will let you hitch your carriage onto scheduled trains between specified locations. No way, did he actually do that? Well, I never. E60 guys on Clinchfield Railroad doing Venora Turn, Part 9. Well, Venora Turn. Oh yeah, I know what the Venora Turn is. I did it myself, didn't I? And yeah, I think all those branch lines on Clinchfield for services, they are very, very challenging. Particularly the ones in the inky blackness of night, in like 2 or 3 in the morning. It's quite difficult, especially with the visuals. It's so hard to see in the dark, especially with the rain lashing down as well. Doesn't help, does it? Thierry, over the last couple of days in Singapore, there's been constant thunderstorms. In that part of the world, you usually do get quite fearsome thunderstorms. I know Malaysia gets some really big proper downpours. I remember watching it in the Formula 1, and I remember my auntie went to Kuala Lumpur a fair few years ago, and the weather was just appalling. One minute it can be hot, humid and kind of sunny, and then the next minute it's absolutely chucking it down like a monsoon has just arrived with a click of a finger. Liam, the Trans-Australian Railway crosses the Nullarbor Plains for 478 kilometres, not diverting even slightly from its straight course. For longest stretch of completely straight track in the world is in Australia. Wow, it's like Route 66, albeit not as twisty. I believe, what was it, last week or the week before? I remember Google celebrating like the anniversary of Route 66. And let's increase the part. Actually, we're slowly getting up to speed. Now, best just have a check. Where am I going? Over here, aren't I? Best just check the points. And that was a good thing that I did, because there are a few points that are out of place. Apart from that one. Trainmaster Spurs, do you have Horseshoe Curve? I do. I did a live stream on it a week after it was launched or something like that, and before it was prepared, so to speak, with that patch. Yeah, I fairly enjoyed it. It's nice to just see a train go round a famous curve in the virtual world. It was lovely. Beautiful sight, I must say. Just over 2 miles until we reach T's yard. Off the beaten path we go. Polish kid, hey, sorry I'm late. That's alright, no worries. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Liam, the now retired Wagasa Bush Line transported visitors around the outskirts of San Diego Zoo. Wow. No, it's not that I've run out of facts. The words that came together to make up the name of a rail line. So wow. On the outskirts of San Diego Zoo. Wow, that must be some little journey. That's for sure. I mean, I don't know how big and famous San Diego Zoo is, and I don't know what, don't know how many animals they've got and what type of animals they have, but that sounds pretty cool, to be fair. A mile until Tees Yard. I was about to say Tees Valley. Tees Yard. It's Tees Yard. And of course for today's stream I have another chocolate bar with me today. And no, I didn't buy this. It was given to me. Sister very kindly got me one. It was originally for last night's Eurovision Song Contest, but yeah, I didn't bother watching that. Not my kind of thing, Eurovision. Not into singing contests and talent shows and all that kind of stuff. Not really not my scene. But hey, congrats to Ukraine for winning it, and Great Britain, or the UK, came in second place. I think first time in over 20 odd years or something that the UK was competitive in the Eurovision Song Contest. Not that it bothers me, but yeah, there you are. Okay, we're now entering Tees Yard. I'm sure Rashanta will be busy knocking about some wagons. There he is, having a break. There are refueling stations over there. If you didn't know what those icons are, therefore refueling the locomotive. Better come off the brakes, we're going a little bit too slow. I just hold down the release brake button until it's fully released. That will do. Just to make sure the brakes are fully released. Exploring all the UK stations. Hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Just doing some cement runs on Tees Valley with the 31 this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning, wherever you are around the world watching this. There's a Class 101 to the right hand side in the yard. Been taken out of service. That's early. 15:10. Thought it would be in service right now, doing the well, that rush hour kind of period, isn't it? On the right hand side, or towards the right hand side I should say, that on the right is the wagons that comes with the BR Class 20. in case you're wondering what those wagons are and what do they come with. Well, they come with the Class 20. Not many additional services the Class 20 brings to Tees Valley. It's just a measly 3, if not 4, so nowhere near as many compared to the 31, which is a bit disappointing, but I suppose it's better than none. Ish. These 60 guys on Halo Reach. I haven't played Halo for years. The only Halo game I can remember playing was Halo 3 on the old Xbox. One of the best games of all time, Halo 3. Early on the 16th of April 1853, the first passenger train ran between Bombay and Fane. Bihura Mamarista Express has the maximum number of halts, 115 stations. Bloody hell. The shortest station name is IB, Odisha. Ooh, is that it? Wow. Thierry 1 company normally always runs 158s in my neck of the woods. However, over the last few days, I've been running quite a few 156s, which is always nice to see. Yeah, it's nice to see something different for a change than the usual trains you get used to in your area. I know for sure. Right, let's bring this train to a halt. Nice and easy. There we go. Nice and easy, nice and gently. There we are. Excellent. Took me 25 minutes. Of course, we had a brief stop with the brakes. But yeah, got a silver. I'll take that. It's not too bad at all. There's the 20. Lovely spring weather. And let's do the last one. Tees Yard to East Gate. Lovely. Exploring the train stations is good. Excellent. Well, Liam Van, the longest is... Oh, I'm not saying that. So it's on a different message because the name is so long. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to pronounce it. That's the one in... I don't know where that is. Don't know what country that's in. Right, what do we have to do? Uncouple 20 vehicles. Well, let's just get this little puppy set up first. No, we don't need that on, of course we won't. I'll leave it off air brakes for now because I don't know what I'm coupling up to be fair. Beautifully weathered, these locomotives. I mean, look at that, you can see a bit of grime there. Class 31 weighs 107 tons, brake force is 48 tons, maximum speed is 90 miles per hour. Certainly looks one of the best outside, or one of the best weathered locomotives. You can see in here there's loads of, it's dirty, it's grubby. You can tell it's been well used, which is what you want to see from a gargoyle, as it was called back then. They were designed to fill that 1,000 to 1,500 horsepower kind of area. And yeah, they've certainly got quite a bit of horsepower. Right, I'll use the locomotive brake, as you should rightly use when it's just a locomotive you're controlling, not a consist of wagons or coaches at your disposal. There's the 08 to the left. forward to doing some shunting in T's yard at some point. Be that video wise or streaming wise, it will be both, I just don't know when. When we get round to it, I suppose. I keep thinking this is the US, isn't it? Every time I've got so accustomed to using the horn or the whistle when passing the crossings, because that's what you have to use in America. I remember I've been repeatedly told thousands of times, I swear to God, of, you know, make sure you use the whistle every time you go near a crossing, etc, etc. And now I'm just using it wherever I go. Whatever route I tend to go on, be it an old route in the UK or a modern route in Germany, you name it. When it should only be the US. Oh well, I suppose it's good to have it. It'll please my US viewers, I suppose. Right. Let's take a look at the rear. Beautiful sunset. Right, where are we going? Going all the way to the bottom. I presume we're coupling up to another set of just turn that down on my headset, the volume a bit loud for me. I presume we're coupling up to a set of these wagons. I'm not too sure. All these ones here. It's going to be one of them, that's for sure. Trainmaster, how many services are we doing? Just the 2 for today. Just the 2. We are now conducting the second and final service. Thierry, the first railway bridge over the Thames was the Grosvenor Bridge, built in 1859. Really? Wow. You would have thought it would be Westminster Bridge or London Bridge or something like that. Earlier, there's an abandoned subway station under City Hall in New York City that no train stops at, but you can see it passing if you make the number. I've seen something like that. I remember I've seen a video of it in the past, or a news article about it. It's quite interesting, that. Worth taking a look at some photographs of it, if you can, on the internet. Liam, if someone commits death in Japan by jumping onto an oncoming train, the train company will sue his and her family for clean-up fees, loss of income and negative publicity brought on by the death. Fair enough. No sympathy there, is there? All trains in Sweden travelling down to the coast generate 5 times the amount of electricity they use powering nearby towns, and the return trip for other trains. Blimey. It must be very, very powerful then. Wonder what generators they have. Blimey. Tiemi local station saw 87,000 passengers in 2021, down from 385,000 passengers in the 2019-2020 period. Oh no, that was my fault. I was too busy looking at the chat. I was trying to do 2 at the same time. Oh well, never mind, we'll try again. Second time lucky. That's me trying to catch up. Exploring all the UK stations, driving a 31 at night. Wow, at night. That must be a challenge. I don't usually do many night services. Just because, as much as it is challenging and looks, well, for me, okay on a TV screen, for a stream and more video purpose, is not that interesting because you can't see much. So, as much as I love to do some like night services, unless it's in a city area or something where it's the whole way illuminated by light, it's literally like impossible to do a stream on at night time because, well, you're not going to see much, are you? Which is not very interesting for the viewer, of course. Right, let's try this again, shall we? I'm going to speed up the process. Change to the locomotive brake. You can cope, the brakes are releasing. Just take a little while to release, but we're jumping the gun. We're getting ahead of steam, or ahead of schedule. Need to get up to speed pretty quickly after that mistake I made there. Quickly check the points. Blimey, in 1963, 4 students forced a local train to stop by parking a car on the tracks with a gun loaded with blanks. They got on the train, picked 4 girls as their dates, and rode away with them. What? That's crazy. Talk about trying to get a girl. Blimey, you try that way. Oof. I don't think you'll get away with that these days. Liam, the fight scene on top of the train in Skyfall was actually filmed on top of a red moving train, and Daniel Craig did not use a stunt double. Oh, I remember that fight scene. Yeah, it was a was it a freight train or something in what part of Europe was it? Was it it wasn't in America, was it? Of course it wasn't. Was it in Turkey or something? Oh, I'm not sure. I know they did filming in like a Eastern European nation, wasn't it? What was it in the Middle East? I don't know. It was in that region, wasn't it? I remember when I had Skyfall, I had a special edition version of it, and it went behind the scenes, and quite extraordinary how some of the scenes they did. You know, the fact that the film crew were very, very specific. Like, they did not want to use CGI in hardly any of the spectacular stunt scenes. Credit to them. Certainly makes it look more realistic. Right, let's try again, shall we, and get this right. Liam, it is possible to travel from Portugal to Vietnam solely by train at 17,000 kilometres. This is the longest train journey in the world. There we are. That's what Dovetail should make next. The longest train journey in the world. Blimey. Can you imagine if Dovetail made that? That would be just crazy. It would take probably a whole year just to travel one full length of that journey. Blimey. Thierry local station was built on the 14th of January 1847. Has been seriously reduced in importance. Several lines have been mothballed, and the station has gone from 7 platforms to just 4, but only 2 platforms. Oh, that's a shame. Well, I mean, in the UK, I mean, one thing I will praise the government is that in England they are reopening railways, putting them back into commercial use, passenger use. This is to reduce, I suppose, the environment side of things. You know, cars and vehicles and all that stuff. They're more encouraging people to, you know, use alternative transportation. Trains, of course, play a big part in that, and it's interesting, isn't it? It'd be very interesting to compare, like, what really is the most expensive way of travelling in this country. Is it by car or is it by rail? I'd be fascinated to know. If I was to drive from, I don't know, Glasgow to London, for example, you question it, wouldn't you? You'd think, what would it be? Would it be cheaper to use the car because of the fuel, or use the train? The train may take longer, of course, but it's an interesting question. We're just cruising up to this red signal. I've got nothing but time. It's just annoying that the marker's so close to the red signal. That's the red signal there, that little tiny one on the left hand side. I thought it was an actual proper signal, whatever it's called, semaphore signal. Right, where are we going? Coupling up to them. What are these wagons? What are they? 20 wagons? I bet you they're cement wagons. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I'm not sure if you can use the 31 on other freight services on Tees Valley. Well, if you can use the 20 on all the other freight services, it's mainly used by the 37, I'm pretty sure you can do the same for the 31. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check that one out, actually. I've got an awful feeling that you can't, because I've never seen a 31 do freight services like, you know, going to the Redcar Ore Terminal or doing steel runs and all that kind of stuff. Hey, for 17 services isn't too bad. Oh, that's perfect. Right, what have we got to do? Couple up, of course. These must be empty. Right, we've got to shut down this cab. Right, mate. That's something I didn't think I'd be doing. There we go, shut down. Turn off the lights. I think everything is all good. We'll find out, won't we? Right, let's change cabs into this one. I'll definitely change the brakes this time. There we go. Got a little switch there, it says it. Vacuum brake for the goods. Set this seat height. Set light switch to on. And, oh yeah, best do the AWS while I'm at it. Right, we'll just let the brakes do its thing. Let them release and build pressure. So I'll have a look at the chat. Thierry, no you can't. Oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, on the 31 you mean? Oh, right, okay. Thought you meant your other thing. Oh, that's a bit... okay, yeah. That makes a bit of sense. So the 31 is used exclusively for its own... Fair enough, I'd say. Liam, a 16-year-old teen, pretended to be a subway conductor and drove a train for 3 hours, safely picking up and discharging passengers at normal station stops along the route before getting caught. Wow, it's crazy. He's definitely a train driver of the future. Thierry, I believe a PCA S. Oh, okay. The brakes must be correctly set in the other cab, which was the only stumbling block I might encounter because I wasn't sure what the shutdown procedure would be like. But it's all good, so let's continue a journey to Darlington, which is 11 miles away. I'll tell you one thing that interests me that just came to mind. Spirit of Steam, they won't have any safety systems, will they? Or like AWS and so on and so forth. So that's going to be another challenge when it comes to that part of the West Coast Main Line in 1958. There's not going to be any things like DSD and AWS or TPWS and all that kind of stuff. So that's another challenge that will be thrown into the mix. I've literally just thought of that, because TransPennine doesn't have any safety systems, as even though the AWS is usable, you can turn it on in the 45, the 40 and the 47, but on the route itself, I think in 1983 the AWS and DSD and all that stuff wasn't put in place on that section of the line between Manchester and Leeds, unless the Spirit of Steam route uses an alternative type of safety system. Then I honestly have no idea. Counting a bit of a steep gradient. Not much steep gradients on this route, it has to be said, which is nice for a change. There's been quite a few routes that has very, very steep gradients, so it's nice that this route hasn't got, like, the route is not at much of a challenge really. I suppose it's more of the train you're driving that is the challenge and not the route itself being a challenge. Liam, the engineer who designed the Japanese dive-bombing planes of World War II, felt bad about his role in the war, so he decided to use his skills for peace by designing the body of the bullet train. Wow. Oh, he designed the bullet train. Ooh, I wonder how he designed it. I wonder if they used a wind tunnel or something, because it obviously was very aerodynamically refined, or it was for the time, of course. To be the fastest train, well, in the world really, passenger wise, or the fastest commercial train in the world, as it was the first high speed train in, what was it, 1964 on the Shinkansen or something like that. Tokaido Shinkansen. Certainly a route I would love to see. Could you imagine having the Tokaido Shinkansen in Train Sim World? That would be extraordinary. That will be a commercial gold mine for Dovetail in terms of generating interest from Japan because my goodness me, do they love their trains in that country. They are mad about it. I mean, Spirit of Steam has already been a huge commercial success, definitely. I mean, you look at the statistics in terms of the newcomers to the game, or the interest of Spirit of Steam has certainly gone through the roof, and I've never seen this much interest in the train sim world route for, I think, ever, really. Probably the closest thing that comes to it is probably Sandpatch Grade way back in the beginning, in 2017-16, so yeah, certainly Spirit of Steam has been a bit of a commercial success in terms of gaining new people or generating interest, that's for sure. And the only fear I have with Spirit of Steam, because there is now a lot of expectation, if Dovetail does not deliver, then my god, they're going to be in huge trouble, really. Because this is something they have to get right, you know, they need to get it right, my god. You know, Steam is the most highly requested thing to be seen in Train Sim world, and now it's finally on the way. The expectation is now there, and it's probably been made even greater by the way they've, you know, announced Spirit of Steam, you know, these trailers and images and so on and so forth, and it's generating excitement and bringing new people in who like trains, you know, just in general, or Steam trains in general, and never played video games or, you know, simulation games that have Steam trains and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, certainly the expectation is there, and I hope Dovetail do a good job. I hope. I just have this terrible feeling, like they had with Southeastern High Speed, you know, there's a lot of expectation there because it was pretty much their backyard, you know. Southeastern High Speed was literally, what, down the road from where Dovetail headquarters was located, and it came out, you know, the route came out like a dog, really, to be honest. It was awful. So I mean, yes, they patched it a week or so later, you know, but this is really the first time where it's got to be in mint condition. The route, the locomotives, you know, the performance of the route, you know, it's literally got to be squeaky clean, because first impressions are everything, and my goodness me, does not play a huge role on Spirit of Steam. I'm hoping it's good, and it should be good, and it looks good, and it sounds good. I just hope that all comes together and is a good package overall. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Not long, but it feels like a long time, believe me. Right, let's get up to speed. I'm going to tuck into my chocolate. Lovely. Speed limit will be 50 miles per hour, so it's a reduction in the speed limit. Of course, I'm nowhere near it, so doesn't matter. Not a big concern for me yet. Lovely. LAMV Underground has the implementation of the curves, where the platform are actually uphill from the surrounding track, so the kinetic energy recovery system is turned into gravitational and recovered when the train exits. Oh wow, that's quite cool, that. I don't know how you find all these facts, Liam. Blimey. It's like just type in fact of the day or something. And all the time it's just something to do with trains. I applaud you for it. I don't know how you keep finding these facts and statistics. You're not like one of those people who stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning just constantly scrolling on the web for facts and stats. I'm pretty sure you're not one of those, but you certainly do come up with a lot of interesting facts and stats, so I do applaud you for that, and I thank you for that. I'll get the normal YouTube shenanigans out of the way. No comments, says Liam. Yeah, if you did enjoy the stream, certainly did. It was quite nice to do some cement duties with the 31, or the gargoyle, as it's otherwise known as. Then yeah, make sure to give it a like, and please subscribe if you are new for more Train Sim World streams and content. In terms of the next stream, that will be tomorrow on Monday the 16th of May 2022, usual time-ish, roughly after 8:30 PM UK time, and we've just passed what seems to be a plane coming into land at Teesside Airport. Of course, this is where Teesside Airport is. Hopefully we'll see a plane go overhead. It's quite a unique station, Teesside Airport, because some services stop at the station and of course some don't. Knowing my luck, we probably are not going to see a plane go overhead, which is just typical. Are we going to spot one? Be a great station to train spot at. Well, not train spot, more like plane spot than anything. Beautiful sky this afternoon. Oh, there's a plane. There he goes. No idea what kind of plane it is, but he's going in a different direction. Let's hop back in the cab and take control of our train instead of being distracted by by planes flying overhead. Well, most train horns are based on musical chords. That doesn't surprise me. Common passenger trains found in the US are usually based on major sixth chords, which are not as threatening as most freight trains. Really? Not most threatening? Blimey. They're more of a, I suppose, the tones of passenger trains, I suppose, more of a happier tone, aren't they, or more lighter tone, if that's the correct description. I'm not the best at describing sounds, but of horns, but if you know what I mean. They're not as scary, should I say. They're loud, but they don't sound as, like you say, threatening when it comes to freight trains. Let's just increase the power, increase the speed by a little bit, as we are getting close to Darlington. And speaking of the next stream, we will still be on Tees Valley. We'll still be exploring on Tees Valley. This time we're taking a look at the very iconic chopper, the BR Class 20 on Tees Valley. We're going to be taking a look at the services that it does, and yeah, if you're a fan of the BR Class 20, then that's the stream for you, that's for sure. So yeah, you want to see the Class 20 in action on Tees Valley, then make sure to pop along to my next stream tomorrow on the 16th of May, roughly 8:30 PM-ish UK time. The reason why I was a bit late this evening was because I had to go to the shop and or petrol station, should I say, to get milk. I was going to say shop, but I can't, because the normal shop would be closed by that time. tuck into my chocolate a bit more. 3 miles to go until Darlington. I'll tell you something, I'm going to be struggling when it comes to doing a stream on Spirit of Steam. I won't have time to look at chats and talk and so on and so forth. I'll be so busy concentrating, fiddling with buttons and so on and so forth, of how to keep the steam train under control. I've no idea how I'll cope with that, but when that time comes, hopefully it will go smoothly. Knowing me, I'll be too busy chatting away and I'll accidentally dump the fire or something. I'll have to put the fire out or something and the train comes to a halt. Yeah, but which type of service and steam locomotive will you be doing first on Spirit Steam? Will you be taking charge of passenger or express services with the LMS, or should I say the London Midland and Scottish Railways Stania locomotive, or will you be conducting freight services with the LMS 8F steam locomotive? I don't know with me, I'm not sure. For once the passenger one does attract more interest from me. It just looks fantastic in that green paint, I must say. I was originally towards the 8F and the freight services, mainly because of the unique rolling stock it has, but I must say the majesty of steam, or the majesty of it, the status, I don't know. I'm just more attracted to doing the passenger side of things for a change on that route. Right, we need to rapidly lose speed, which I'm not going to successfully do, that's for sure. I'm going way too fast. Way too fast. Too busy chatting away. Ooh. That's better. The brakes can be a bit feisty, but I don't know, maybe the brakes are not as sticky as they were in Train Sim World 2020 when it first came out. Maybe they fiddled with the brakes physics of the 31. It's a lot more responsive, and it's more prone to working with you rather than working against you. So yeah, certainly the 31 feels a bit more friendlier to drive, which is nice. TOA was train spotting and there was network rail there, so even though I knew the horn was coming, it still scared me. It always does every time you hear a horn in the distance and then the train just thunders by you. You do get a bit of a I always get a bit of a dark reaction from myself, like a whoa, like there's a train there. Better get out of the way. Liam, there's a train station in Sweden that uses people's body heat to warm adjacent buildings. Wow, this website is taking a bit of a turn now, not recommended. Here it's impressive just how quiet trains are. Another time I was train stopping, I heard the train when it was right on top of me. Well, certainly the insulation of them have improved. I mean, obviously you can't open the windows, can you? So when you're in whatever passenger train you're in, it is remarkably quiet, and they ride pretty well too. I remember the 43 was a little bit here and there. One minute it can be quiet, next minute it can be a bit shaky and rickety, but other than that, yeah, 43 wasn't a bad place to be when I was a passenger back then, when I used to go from London to Reading or vice versa. Alright, we're coming into Darlington now. Quite a nice station, Darlington, I must say. It's a very warm, cosy kind of feel. Liam, that was my final fact on the website. Another website error over for me. No! I better get on the brakes, otherwise I'm gonna run into a red signal. That might be wise if I stop. That'll do. First time. What did I get? Silver. I'll take that. Awesome. Thierry Verhorn was right next to me, train spotting. Well, that really would have given you a fright then. Okay, let's return to the main menu and wrap it up. Thierry, all of a sudden you hear a noise and there is a Class 66 slowly rolling to a signal. Yeah, he's slowly creeping up on you. But yeah, there we are. That concludes this stream. Not the longest stream I've done, that's for sure. But yeah, quite a nice little drive, doing some cement runs with the BR Class 31 on Tees Valley. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Of course, if you did enjoy it, I'm sure you have, make sure to hit that like button, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already for more Train Sim World streams and content. The next stream will be roughly same time-ish, just after 8:30 p.m. UK time on Monday the 16th of February, the 16th of May 2022, where I'll be on Tees Valley again, but this time with the chopper, the BR Class 20. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I certainly am. So I'll just like to say thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.